12 people die in a suicide attack in Cameroon. South Africa's Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa laments the corruption that has damaged the ruling party under President Jacob Zuma. Plus, an Egyptian student builds epic monuments out of cards. Hello and welcome to the program. I am Amarachi Ubani. We begin today in Central Africa, where at least 12 people have been killed after two suicide bombers blew themselves up in a busy market in northeastern Cameroon. Officials say 30 others were injured when the bombers struck an area with restaurants, telephone cabins and kiosks reportedly being blown up, according to reports. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack, but Cameroon's far north region, which borders Nigeria, has seen a resurgence in attacks blamed on Nigerian Islamist militant group Boko Haram following months of relative calm. In the meantime, as the Nigerian military continues to wage war against Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast, the Air Force says it's intensifying efforts at promoting the use of locally made military hardware to complement the efforts of the ground troops. One way to prove that is with the launch of an unmanned aerial vehicle and a light surveillance aircraft. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar says the initiative is part of efforts to develop local content and build capacity within the Air Force.
After inventing the first unmanned aerial vehicle in 2013, the Air Force Institute of Technology adopted new modifications for it to perform better. Now the new surveillance device has a frequency jammer that can distort GSM signals and is also equipped with a run-off time of 4 hours in the air. 13 pilots have been trained to operate the light aircraft, and Air Force authorities believe that the success is born out of the vision to develop in-house capacity for advanced development in Nigeria.
The NAF in the past had depended on original equipment manufacturers and vendors for the sustenance of these air assets. It therefore became imperative to innovate and look inward if we must continue to effectively and efficiently fulfill the Nigerian Air Force statutory roles. This is in line with one of the key drivers in the Chief of the Air Staff vision, which is centered on self-reliance and strategic partnership with MDAs.
We develop in-house capacity to be able to produce some of the equipment that we need to be able to continue to sustain our operations, particularly in the northeast.
The representative of the Chief of Air Staff believes that the initiative will discourage the Nigerian military over dependence on developed nations for supply of security equipment.
The current NAF leadership is determined to reposition the NAF into a highly professional and disciplined force through capacity building initiative for effective, efficient, timely employment of air power in response to Nigeria's national security imperatives.
It is believed that the unmanned aerial vehicle will meet the vast expectations and needs of the Nigerian Air Force and could be used by other security agencies for both internal and security operations.
The United Nations says it has identified an additional 38 probable mass graves in the Democratic Republic of Congo's central Kasai region. This brings the total number to at least 80 since the outbreak of an insurrection last August. More than 3,300 people have been killed, 1.4 million others forced to flee their homes in Kasai since the start of the insurrection by the Kamuna and Sapu militia, which wants the withdrawal of military forces from the area. A UN spokesperson says the graves were identified across 6 different sites during a joint mission to Western Kasai last week with Congolese military investigators.
In the DRC, reports that a joint investigation mission in Cameroon territory in the Kasai province discovered 38 potential mass graves in 4 different sites. As of today, the UN's Joint Humanitarian Office has identified 80 alleged mass graves in the Kasais. The Human Rights Office and the UN mission reiterate their readiness to support DRC authorities to shed light on the crimes committed in the Kasais and the fight against impunity.